Welcome to World Prism. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon for more breaking updates. At the very top of the U.S. legal system sits the Supreme Court, a symbol of justice and the ultimate interpreter of the Constitution. Its imposing presence in Washington, D.C. represents the final stop for legal disputes that shape the nation. The Supreme Court is the final authority on constitutional questions, resolving conflicts that affect millions of Americans and clarifying the meaning of the nation's most important laws. With 9 justices appointed for life, the court's rulings shape American society for decades, often outlasting the presidents and lawmakers who appointed them. Their decisions set binding precedents that ripple through every level of government and daily life, influencing how laws are interpreted and enforced across the country. The court's decisions impact everything from free speech and civil rights to privacy, education, and even the way technology is used in our daily lives. The court also plays a vital role in elections, making its voice one of the most powerful and influential in the nation. When the justices speak unanimously, their message carries extraordinary weight, sending a clear signal to the country and to lawmakers. Such decisions show that the issue at hand transcends politics and reflects a shared understanding of the law's meaning. The Supreme Court acts as a crucial check on the President and Congress, protecting the balance of power at the heart of the U.S. government. By ensuring that no branch exceeds its constitutional limits, the court preserves the system of checks and balances that defines American democracy. This careful balance of power is fundamental to the freedoms and rights Americans enjoy every day. A single Supreme Court verdict can redefine rights, shift the boundaries of government authority, and alter the course of history for generations to come. These landmark decisions are studied, debated, and remembered long after they are handed down. That's why every major decision from the court commands national attention, shaping the lives of millions and the future of the country. Kilmar Abrego. Garcia's story is a striking example of how the immense power of government can upend a life in an instant, leaving families and communities reeling from the consequences. His journey is not just about one man, but about the fragile line between security and justice, and the unpredictable ways in which bureaucracy can shape destinies. After living in Maryland for nearly 15 years, Garcia had built a life many would envy. He was married to a U.S. citizen, a devoted father to a young son, and a valued member of his community. Years earlier, a judge had granted him protection from deportation, recognizing the real threats he faced if forced to return to El Salvador. For Garcia and his family, America had become home, a place of hope and safety. But in 2025, everything changed. Despite having no criminal record and following all the rules, Garcia was suddenly arrested by ICE agents and deported. The government later admitted it was a mistake, a devastating error that tore him from his family and sent shockwaves through the immigrant community. In El Salvador, instead of finding safety, Garcia was thrown into a notorious mega jail, trapped in a bureaucratic nightmare. He faced dangerous conditions and uncertainty, with little hope of escape, as his family in Maryland desperately sought answers. Outraged by the injustice, a federal judge in Maryland ordered the government to bring Garcia back immediately, demanding daily updates on their efforts. The judge's order was clear: the government must correct its mistake and reunite Garcia with his family. Yet the administration pushed back, arguing that the courts were overstepping their authority and interfering with presidential powers and sensitive foreign affairs. The case quickly became a flashpoint in the ongoing debate over the separation of powers. The legal battle escalated, reaching the Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals. The appellate judges sided with the lower court, sharply criticizing the government's lack of urgency and its failure to take responsibility for its actions. What began as wannabe adan what mindadan sa sinner, asosachin stan, asostans, Hazumonen's wrongful deportation soon transformed into a high-stakes constitutional showdown. The central question: could the government simply ignore a court order by citing diplomatic complications, or did the rule of law still hold firm? The case now tested the very foundation of American democracy, whether the executive branch is truly subject to the rule of law, or if it can act above it when it chooses. It was no longer just about Garcia or his family. The case had become a national symbol, raising the question of whether the courts could hold the government accountable for its own mistakes, and whether ordinary people could trust the system to protect their rights. The outcome would set a powerful precedent defining how far government power could reach, and who, if anyone, could stop it when it went too far. The stakes had grown beyond one man or one family. Now, the entire nation was watching, aware that the decision could shape the future of American justice and government accountability. Ultimately, it would be up to the Supreme Court to decide, not just the fate of Kilmar Abrego Garcia, but the boundaries of power in America itself. When Garcia's case finally reached the Supreme Court, it had already captured the attention of the entire nation. The stakes were high, and the outcome would have far-reaching consequences for the balance of power in the United States. Many expected a split decision, with justices divided along ideological lines. Reporters speculated, legal experts debated, and families across the country waited anxiously for the verdict. But in a stunning turn, all 9 justices sided with Garcia, a rare, unanimous rebuke of the government's actions. Such unity is almost unheard of in cases with such political weight. The court didn't order Garcia's immediate return, but instead sent the case back to the lower court, making it clear that the government must take responsibility and work to correct its mistake. The ruling sent a strong message: the president's authority in foreign affairs, while significant, does not place the executive branch above the reach of judicial review or the Constitution. The justices' unity was striking. Their decision transcended politics, emphasizing that the rule of law must prevail over partisan interests or executive power. The liberal justices in particular cautioned that allowing the government to escape accountability would set a dangerous precedent, one that could permit wrongful deportations and other abuses to go unchallenged in the future. The verdict reinforced a fundamental principle: courts have the power and the duty to demand accountability, even from the highest offices in the land, and to protect individual rights against government overreach. As the case returned to the lower court for enforcement, the Supreme Court's message echoed across the country. No one, not even the president, is above the law or immune from judicial scrutiny. The decision was more than a legal victory for Garcia. It was a resounding affirmation of due process, judicial authority, and the enduring strength of the Constitution. In this historic moment, justice had spoken with one clear, unwavering voice, reminding the nation that the law stands above all. The Garcia case, though about due process, echoes the core protections of the Second and Fourth Amendments. The Second Amendment guarantees the right to bear arms, while the Fourth protects against unreasonable searches and seizures. The Fourth Amendment's spirit, shielding individuals from arbitrary government action, was at the heart of Garcia's ordeal. He was seized and deported in violation of a court order, deprived of liberty without due process. Both amendments were designed to limit government overreach and protect personal freedom. The Supreme Court's decision reinforced that the government cannot cross these boundaries without consequence. When the state acts unlawfully, the courts provide a remedy. The Constitution's protections are real only if the judiciary can enforce them. The Supreme Court's unanimous ruling sends a clear message: Ador Kalbamatsen e Sabra. The executive branch is not above the law. The decision reaffirms the judiciary's power to hold the government accountable, even in matters of national security or foreign affairs. If the court had sided with the administration, it would have created a loophole for government misconduct. Now, the government cannot simply claim a mistake or diplomatic difficulty to avoid fixing its errors. The ruling strengthens the separation of powers, ensuring each branch checks the others. Legal experts see this as a pivotal moment for the rule of law. The court's action prevented a constitutional crisis and preserved the balance at the heart of American democracy. The message: government must respect court orders, or the system itself is at risk. The Garcia decision isn't just legal theory, it protects real people from government mistakes. If you're wrongly accused or your property is seized by error, this ruling means you can demand a remedy in court. The government can't walk away from its errors by claiming bureaucracy or complexity. For immigrants and citizens alike, the decision ensures that legal protections are meaningful and enforceable. The courts are a backstop against arbitrary government action. The ruling confirms that the government must follow the same rules as everyone else. This principle safeguards everyone's rights, making justice more than just words on paper. The judiciary stands as the guardian of fairness for all. The Supreme Court's verdict is a powerful affirmation of the rule of law in our society. Court orders are not suggestions, they are the law's command, binding on all, including the government and its officials. If the executive could ignore court orders, individual rights would be rendered meaningless. The Garcia case showed that the courts can enforce their decisions, ensuring justice is real, not just theoretical. The ruling keeps the courthouse doors open for everyone, holding even the powerful to account for their actions. This is essential for freedom and security in a democracy, ensuring fairness. The Supreme Court's message: the law applies to all, and the judiciary's authority must be respected by everyone. That's how justice endures for generations to come.